Greetings from the apocalypse. So last week in the studio, we were talking a little bit about the problem of, we had a student, she finished a ring, it looked beautiful, she set the stone, and then the client said, oh, can I get that like a little bit bigger? Actually more than a little bit bigger. So we were talking about, can you stretch it? How can you stretch it? It's important to understand how to apply force basically to your piece, because there are certain central principles that it'll always follow. So if you understand them, you'll have a much better time solving problems like this. So let me show you what we did. This is a really important principle for you to understand when you're doing anything, because you have to know where the force is going to go. So it's always the path of least resistance. So the question was, can we stretch this ring? Yes, but only in a very specific way. Because if we were to take this and put it on a mandrel and tap, 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 what's going to stretch is not this nice thick shank. What's going to distort is your thinner bezel. So you always have to look at a piece and know that. That's where the force is going to go, the path of least resistance, and you don't want that. So, but we still can stretch it. We're going to do something like this. We're going to put it on a stake, not pushed all the way in so that the force can go to the bezel. Do you see what I mean? Yes. Like not all the way like that, but like this, so that it's hanging. Yes. So that the only place that's getting the force is this right here. Okay? And then I got just this cute little planishing hammer. You can get a bigger one if you want, but I think this is fine. And we'll do a little bit and we'll try, because think about what happens when you hit there. Basically, the metal shoots out to the side and ends up giving us like extra length, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? It spreads out. Another thing you always want to think about is that metal always acts exactly like clay does. So if you imagine like what clay would do, like if you take your thumb and go, what happens? Like it spreads out to the side. Metal acts the same exact way. So that's a good way to predict how it's going to act. So somewhat it'll go this way and this way a little bit, but mainly it'll go to the sides. Okay? So that's all we're going to do is we're going to, and you can work your way around to the side and do here as well, as long as the stake is only touching the ring shank up here where we want it to stretch. Okay, so that's the whole key element right there.
Because of that tool, it's not going to give it like a hammered look.
It will give it a little bit of a hammered look, but because we've got a thick enough shank, we can just file this out. Now that's why I didn't pick like a really big aggressive hammer. I'd rather have little marks and then we'll file them out.
That makes sense.
Okay? Okay, and then you can try it. You can try it on whatever to see how much you're going to do, and then we'll file and sand a little bit and just clean up those marks. Okay?